For stopping by. I know it's kind of late. If you're in Australia or England, it's probably the following day or close to it, for like in England. But anyway, I wanted to go over the daily text from Saturday, November 23rd. So it says, "Sing for us one of the songs of Zion," Psalms 137:3. And it reads, "As captives in Babylon, the Jews did not feel like singing. They needed comfort and consolation. However, true to God's prophetic word, deliverance came through Cyrus, king of Persia. He conquered Babylon and proclaimed, 'Jehovah has commissioned me to build him a house in Jerusalem. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may Jehovah his God be with him, and let him go up.'" 2 Chronicles 36:23. What a comforting effect this development must have had on the Israelites dwelling in Babylon. Jehovah gave comfort not only to the nation of Israel as a whole, but also to each individual. The same is true today. God heals the brokenhearted. He binds up their wounds. Yes, Jehovah cares for those who are having problems, whether physical or emotional. He is eager to comfort us and to soothe our emotional wounds. He gives us wisdom and strength so that we can cope with any troubles we may face. I didn't plan on doing a video like this, but I decided, maybe I can read the daily text to see what I can do a rebuttal on. And sure enough, this is a good daily text to have a rebuttal on, because this organization does not heal the brokenhearted. The organization does not bind up their wounds. If anything, they put salt in the wounds, especially of those individuals that are shunned, but more importantly, those abused individuals, young children, and there was no second witness for the person's crime against the child. The organization just ignores them. They don't do nothing. They're not going to see justice by this organization. True, if you have a personal experience that God heals you and you're brokenhearted, that's fine. And there's cases where I prayed and I've known it was God that had a hand in it, because who else? There are certain personal things I'm not going to share, obviously, like temptation, and I prayed to God to help me get through it, and He has. But when it comes to this organization, it doesn't care for those who are having problems, whether physical or emotional. In fact, they disfellowshipped individuals who question this organization. And it can lead to emotional damage. It can lead to suicide. It can lead to depression. It can lead to PTSD. In my case, I still have PTSD when I think about this cult. This organization I want to stay as far as away from. In fact, on Friday I drove by the Kingdom Hall that I was part of, obviously, before I was disfellowshipped. But I was thinking, I was just having almost like a PTSD withdrawal. It's not certainly something. It's not easy to get over. That just something I just had an uneasy feeling when I even drove by the Kingdom Hall. It's like, it's terrible. And this organization, it doesn't bind up wounds. And the reason I say that is because they're supposed to represent God. They say that they have God's backing. They say that God directs these Jehovah's Witnesses today. And just speaking from a personal experience, this organization does not do any good. It only, like I say, they fearmonger people. They'll tell the abused individual, "Hey, you need to stick close to Jehovah's organization, otherwise God will murder you." And totally contradicting. This is totally contradicting, because Jehovah cares, but not Jehovah's organization. Jehovah's organization doesn't do anything to comfort up. And I say, if you're away from the organization, you're at peace, and you're in.